Los Angeles was no stranger to fire, but this one was different. It started with the usual warnings: dry winds, scorching heat, but by January 7, 2025, the flames weren't just consuming homes and forests. They seemed alive. In Woodland Hills, where evacuation orders had scattered most residents, a firefighter named Ethan remained on the front lines. He had seen wildfires before, but this one whispered. It wasn't just the crackle of burning wood, it was actual voices carried by the smoke, soft, beckoning, and oddly familiar. "Help me," the voices called. Ethan paused as he trudged through the ash-laden streets. He turned toward the sound and saw a figure standing amidst the flames, a woman with long, flowing hair and a pale face. For a moment, she looked like his late wife, who had died in a car accident years ago. "Rachel," he whispered. The figure didn't answer but stepped closer, unharmed by the inferno. Ethan's team called out to him over the radio, but he ignored them. The fire seemed to part for the woman, creating a path into the heart of the blaze. Against his better judgment, Ethan followed. As he ventured deeper, the destruction around him grew surreal. Shadows of people were etched onto walls and sidewalks, as if frozen in their last moments. The flames danced unnaturally, forming shapes that looked like faces, grimacing, screaming, pleading. Ethan's radio crackled. "Ethan, where are you? We're losing control of the fire." But he couldn't respond. The voices were louder now, overlapping in a cacophony of anguish. "You left us," a child's voice accused. Ethan spun around, seeing a small boy standing in the flames, his face twisted with anger. "Why didn't you save me?" Ethan's heart raced. The boy looked just like the child he had failed to rescue in a house fire years ago. "I'm sorry," Ethan stammered, tears streaming down his face. The boy vanished, replaced by another figure, a woman he didn't recognize but whose eyes burned with sorrow. More figures emerged, each one a person Ethan had failed to save in his career. The flames grew hotter, wrapping around him like a suffocating embrace. He dropped to his knees, overwhelmed by guilt and fear. The whispers became a roar, and he realized they weren't random voices. They were the spirits of the forgotten, the lost, and the abandoned, all drawn to this fire, a fire born of their pain. Ethan's vision blurred as the heat consumed him. The last thing he saw was the figure of his wife, Rachel, reaching out to him. When his team found his body the next morning, it was untouched by flames, lying peacefully amidst the scorched earth. But his face bore an expression of terror, and in the ash surrounding him, they found words scrawled as if by unseen hands. "We are the fire. And we remember." From that day forward, no one could explain why the Palisades fire had behaved so erratically or why it had spared certain areas. But those who ventured too close to the ruins swore they heard whispers in the smoke, calling for help, warning them to stay away. The fire had ended, but its ghosts lingered, forever haunting the City of Angels.